Dear Grinnell students and families, I hope that this message finds you well. I know this is an important week for all of us, the next few days in which you're thinking about your future, you're thinking about your education, you're probably thinking about our society at large. So I'm here to welcome you into that process from our perspective and to point out just a couple of things for us to think about together. Last week during our webinar meetings, I had asked you to listen for two things to the information that you were receiving from our faculty and staff. The first was for their labor. And I really emphasized that word because I wanted you to have a sense and to appreciate how hard everyone's been working in their commitment to you to redesign an educational experience in the midst of a pandemic. And we've done it. I am so proud of our incredible faculty and our incredible staff and everything that they've put together for you. I understand, in fact, that now tutorial advisors are reaching out to first years. I know advisors are at the ready to connect. Coaches, all of your mentors are here for you, and we're doing that work of outreach and the beauty of Grinnell, all of our relationships. So that labor piece is there, and I know now you're all working hard. You've been working hard to make sense and put the pieces together for yourselves for next year. The second thing I had asked you to listen for and that I want to elaborate on today is your creative engagement, right? How will you live this time? How will you remember this time? How will you tell your story? And this is really thinking about right now, the decisions you're making, thinking about the next few months, trying to imagine yourself. What does October look like? What does February look like? Who are you with? What are you working out? And your creative engagement to your academic experience, your creative engagement to your education, to how it feeds into society is what I'm excited about, is where I see so much potential. So there's two areas of that creative engagement that I really want to focus on with you. And I invite you to think of it as, those questions I asked. How will you live this? Who tells your story? How will you tell your story? We've had some summer courses this summer that have been online. And this fantastic professor from the anthropology department did exactly that. Ask students for their COVID stories. I hope you're keeping journals. I hope you're collecting artifacts. This is a moment in history that you're in. And now I want to get into these two ways that you can do your creative engagement to this moment in history. The first is your resilience and adaptation, and how Grinnell's plan for next year will hone those skills, will hone that capacity in you for resilience and adaptation. We've said many times, I think we're all in different stages of processing just how different this academic year will be. Yes, so how do we adapt? How are we resilient to that? What does it mean to do science in virtual community? What does it mean to be an athlete outside of competition? How is art produced from multiple points on the globe and coming together into one piece of theater or music? These are the questions that we're getting to ask ourselves. And if you listened to those webinars last week, those web meetings last week, you heard some really interesting answers. So your resilience, your adaptation, you will learn that this year. You'll learn it with your peers and your professors, and you'll learn it in the virtual communities that you'll be creating by being a part of them. The second piece then is community and institutions. This is where we're starting to really take stock of where we are in our history. We have never seen our institutions tried the way they are now within living memory. I think we'd have to go back into some periods of history to really see the kind of seismic shifts that we're seeing in our institutions, the society-wide conversations that we're having. Our communities and our institutions are in times of great change. For you to be a part of a classroom when that's happening, for you to be a part of the virtual community of Grinnell, to be a part of building the virtual community of Grinnell is what I so very much want for you. This is a time to think about what it takes to build a society. And I'm actually excited. I really moved from that period of mourning our time together. And I'll continue to mourn it. But I'm now really curious. How are we going to build that virtual community? Are we going to connect with each other differently? Are our alums going to be present in different ways? What will it mean to achieve something in your spot with someone else in another part of the globe? Building virtual community. You're going to get that skill coming out of this academic year. You will have been a part of these virtual communities. You will have built them. We're seeing this in the CLS. We're seeing this in OCS. That ability to think now virtually for your future planning, your off-campus study, your career, life, and service. And you'll be doing this in your classroom as well. You're building into your major. You're cultivating your different interests. You're getting your interdisciplinary acumen. You're getting your courses across such a beautiful breadth of knowledge here at the college. Knowing how to build community will serve you well the rest of your life. And I'm excited about what we're doing here at Grinnell. I'm excited to see our faculty come up with such creative ways to connect with you and their dedication, their perseverance, their brilliance in creating meaning. I'm excited about the way that staff are thinking with you and your student organizations. What's your presence going to be in that virtual community? What's your development? How are you thinking about your future? Your professors, your mentors, your administration, we're all here to do this work. And we're especially excited because liberal arts, in its collaboration and in its community thinking, is exactly what our society needs right now to figure out this time and to plan for the future. So I wish you well in this week of decision making. There's a lot of emails, there's a lot of links, explore them all. This is your time to use that liberal arts education for your decision making and your future. We're excited about what we're doing here, and we look forward to seeing you. You take good care. Bye-bye.